Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where I've done a little bit of experimentation here off camera, and I have figured out exactly how this system works, and I think it's fine. I don't have a problem with it in terms of the men-at-arms raising, so of course they don't raise instantly anymore. If we go ahead and raise our troops here, we're not at war, so this will just cost us a little bit to raise this up. But we can see here, this is going to be based on our distance from our capital. So we're a ways away. We expect it to take a little while for our men-at-arms to pop in here, but they'll all populate in at the same time. Right there. Boom. So you can see there, they had to travel from the capital. However, if we move this directly over to our capital, and we raise our troops here, boom. Took them 1 day to get there. I'm okay with it. It's not, I think, it's not quite as good as the retinues in Crusader Kings 2, but I'm okay with it. I think we can live with that. Excellent. So with that under control, let's determine what we want to do here. Well, I definitely want to upgrade this market. That is 100% going to happen. As well as this market. Both of those absolutely need to happen. And we're doing pretty okay over there as well. Fantastic. 0% chance of a great deal, huh? We may as well just take the peasant labor. I don't actually mind in Wendala. Wendala's maxed out anyway. What are we going to build there? Nothing. That's what. It's already as done as it's going to be. So that is fantastic. I feel like we need to declare wars at this point. There's an independence faction against us. I doubt they're particularly powerful. No, they're really, really not. That's okay. I don't care. So, can we attack Nubia? We actually could. Now, this would be considered a duchy here. As with this, I wouldn't necessarily mind snagging that. Are we still truce to Kordofan? I don't believe we are. So we can do a little bit of work over here. Let's go ahead and drop our rally point right over here. Of course, we can't declare war with levies or men-at-arms raised. But what we can do is we can do a de jure seize here, or we could just do a conquer county. I think we're going to do the de jure seize here because, specifically, it's going to get handed off where we want it to anyway. Now, they do have some allies. That's okay. I don't care. We're going to raise our troops here, and it's going to take some time for our men-at-arms to get here, but that's okay. We now know exactly how that system works. Once our men-at-arms are raised, we will head on over. No men-at-arms yet. There's our men-at-arms. Okay, so in we go. Yes, they do have allies. We don't particularly care. In all honesty, it'll be fine. So in we go. Fantastic. Hopefully we capture him and put a super quick end to this war. That would be an ideal scenario, but I don't think that's going to be the case here necessarily. We might, but no. We absolutely did not. That's okay. They will retreat up over here, and they're going to keep going. We do see that there's some enemy units over here. That's fine. 3 months left on this siege. Oh, we're currently ill? That is awkward. We're 46, and we're apparently at death's door. We are obese currently. We'll send for a physician for sure. I would prefer not to die right now. This would not be the correct time. Do no more than what is necessary, though. Okay, reduce disease symptoms. Hopefully that'll be enough for us to survive, especially if we are no longer obese here soon. That should help. We should, however, take a quick look at what our succession ends up looking like. We lose Sao, Wendala, and Wendala. So we lose the duchy down here. We lose the county and this kingdom. That's fine. I mind, but if we're not going to lose these four, that's our primary power seat. So I don't really mind that succession at all. Now we could siege, or rather we could assault over here, but they're just walking in on us, and I think this is fine. We allow this to happen. I'm not in the slightest concerned about this. They're just going to get completely crushed. I don't even know what they're thinking. Why are they doing this? This makes no sense for them. Okay, we're no longer obese. That is very helpful for us, to be sure. We could indulge in food, and then we'll probably be obese again. We're currently sitting a little bit up in our stress level, but this would actually lose us stress here. This guy would become our friend. Whereas our Chancellor would become our rival. Or no. This guy would become our rival. Our Steward would become our rival, and our Chancellor would become our friend. That's 46 stress there. We could follow his advice. They're about the same power level. I think we'll get ourselves a rival. What could possibly go wrong? Excellent. Now, I don't know... Okay, this war is over. I don't know why they were doing this. Why did they attack? Absolutely ridiculous. Okay. Whatever. We'll send our troops home. And we will move our rally point directly up here. And we're going to attack the King of Nubia. We're going to declare war on him. We could holy war for the duchy, but we don't have the piety. No, we're going to conquer the duchy instead. Oh, we are lacking the prestige right now for that. That is 375. That's okay. We can quickly host a feast here, and we'll lose 65 stress from that. We're no longer ill, so that's great. Welcome, friends. And we'll just get ourselves the prestige that we need. Absolutely no problem. Losing additional stress. That's always great to see. We can change this person's contract, and we're going to bump the taxes up. And we're going to use the hook. Excellent. We can ransom this mayor, and we can demand a payment from this guy. And those are definitely things that we're going to do. Absolutely fantastic. And then we are going to declare our duchy war on this guy just as soon as we have the prestige, which we actually do right now. So we're going to raise up our troops here. We're only going to need around 5,000 troops. The awkward part about this system is this does mean that you end up raising more levies than you'd like, right? Because at this point, this is more than double the amount of levies that I actually want, but our men-at-arms aren't here yet. And if we stop gathering, our men-at-arms won't come. So that's something about this system that I don't like. This does end up meaning that you're going to have overkill in far-flung wars like this, in terms of your levies. Now, you can split them off and put them down, which is, in fact, exactly what I'm going to do. But even so, if you had a month tick happen during that, that costs you a lot of money. Like, look at that. That's 22 gold per month that we don't need here. In fact, I'm going to put down a couple more. Something like this. 27 gold per month. And we're just going to disband that. Also, having to go through and manually disband that, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of that. So, yeah, I mean, I can see why, in terms of, from the base game rules, this is preferential to the teleporting men-at-arms. Absolutely. But compared to the rule set that I was playing under, I'm not sure that it's preferential. I think we're just going to siege. And ultimately, I would just prefer that it worked the same way that it did in CK2. I really, really would prefer that. That would be the best case scenario. I've been saying that a lot lately, haven't I? Best case scenario. Oh well. Okay, we stack wiped them. That is indeed the best case scenario. Oh boy, I need to stop that. Fantastic. So we're at 50% war score here, and sieging this down should get us another hefty chunk of war score. We're re-obese, but we're losing weight, so that should be, in theory, fine. I'm going to go ahead and call a hunt here. We're a little bit low on our prestige count. So that should be good. Lose 46 stress. 50 piety. I mean, that's not going to help us. We don't need to lose stress. I guess we'll take the piety, but it's not going to take us positive, right? I mean, this guy's really bad at being Muslim, so I don't think that that's going to be particularly helpful, but the other options probably would have been less helpful there. We'll happily take that prestige, though. Okay. We may want to multi-siege from here. Split our force in half and take 50 of the onagers up over here. I don't think that we're going to have any other issues. Yeah, he's got 20 troops. This is not an issue. We should have absolutely no problem whatsoever with this. A holy order has been founded. Okay. I mean, we're not going to really be able to make use of that with this guy, but sure. I guess that's fine. We can demand a payment from Emir Abdullah, and that is something that we will do. We're probably better off using those hooks to move up our feudal obligations. Hang on a moment. Why do we have feudal obligations when we're tribal? What's your contract look like? Is he feudal? Ah, these guys over here are feudal. I gotcha. We are tribal. These guys are feudal. Okay. Understood. Well, we will be joining them, well, with a clan government anyway, in about 15 years, it looks like. Maybe a little bit shorter than that. Probably not within this guy's lifespan. But almost certainly within our heir's lifespan. I'm interested in seeing how our heir is doing. He is still on a stewardship education. He's not of age yet. He is hale. He lost the lisping, so that's nice. And we will go ahead and enforce those demands. Fantastic. And then we'll need to hand this out to somebody. Sure. Our nephew will do the trick. And we'll transfer this person in. That does gain us stress, which is not necessarily ideal. These prisoners can be ransomed, and we definitely should do that. Excellent. So there's a little bit more expansion there. And we're going to ransom that one as well. Wonderful. I believe our son just came of age. Yes, and he has no spouse. We should probably go for Emirate of Seville. Huh. How powerful are they? 4270? Not tremendously. But I guess that could work. Yeah. We'll go for it. We do need another trait here, and we'll take Chains of Loyalty. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. Increased control in county has finished up, and we should definitely work on increasing control in Garua over here. Great. I would like to consider moving up to absolute tribal authority at some point soon, but probably not for another 10 years or so. So I'm using the term soon very loosely here. Sure, we'll join this guy as in an alliance, and I'm assuming he's going to call us in soon. Ghana has pretty much put itself back together. We're no longer anywhere near scared of Ghana. Convert Faith has finished. That is always nice to see. And we will convert Faith over here. Wonderful. So the next question is, how much more expansion do we want to do this life? That is quite a question, to be sure. So this is just regular partition. I don't honestly feel like regular partition is all that much better than Confederate partition. Just because basically the only difference between them is that Confederate partition creates new titles for younger realm heirs, whereas partition does not. And I guess this is house opinion versus player heir opinion. And eligible child opinion is halved. But ultimately, that makes it worse to go off of Confederate partition. As long as you have your titles created already, I feel like we're better off on Confederate partition. Now, if we had the ability to, I would absolutely go to high partition in a heartbeat. Unfortunately, we can't get that until we have heraldry, which is insane. Absolutely bonkers. At any rate, I would like to go after some of these other little areas, get them into the fold. Like, Marwyn here would actually be fantastic for us to go after, and I'm going to. Holy War for that duchy. That's not just a single county, is it? No, that's a duchy. Okay, we're going to have to wait a little bit on the prestige, but that's okay. Yeah, that's completely fine. We don't really have a way to speed that up at the present moment. I mean, other than go for Majesty focus, but I don't feel like that's currently necessary. I would rather be banking up the cash. We can invest that in just a ludicrous amount of upgrades as soon as we adopt a clan government. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I accept his war. Well then, this is going to be relatively easy to get to. I thought this would be further away. We'll go ahead and raise up troops here, and eventually our men-at-arms will pop up here. Once again, this is one of those situations where we're probably going to have way more more levies than we need here. I was going to say more men-at-arms. We can never have too many men-at-arms. Okay. Definitely don't need any more than this. How many troops do they even have? They have 6k? Yeah. So this is definitely going to be tedious to split this off every time. There's no doubt about that. We can ransom this person, and that is something that we will do. So yeah, compared to the teleporting men-at-arms, this is an upgrade, to be sure. I don't feel like this is as good as it could be, though, in terms of this men-at-arms mechanic. I just keep coming back to, why doesn't it work like retinues in CK2? Just have them be permanently up. Make it so you can declare wars with them, but you can't teleport them around. You have to walk them wherever you're going to go. So that way you can plan ahead of time, but if you get caught off guard, your men-at-arms are way on the other side of your empire, and it'll take them forever to walk from, here to here. I just think that's a better system. Not saying that this system is not an improvement, but not saying that it's not an improvement? Right. That is correct. The double negative is correct. I am not saying that it is not an improvement. Okay. It is better, particularly in situations where people weren't playing it restrained the way I was, specifically to avoid that situation. Yeah, I could see why this would be much better, a good improvement. But I don't understand why they don't just go the retinue method. Like, it feels like that solution was already there, and just super easy to do. Maybe there's a technical reason where, like, it's coded in such a way that it has a really hard time differentiating between men-at-arms and levies in terms of restrictions for war declarations or something like that. But if that's the case, then that's a coding issue that they probably should have thought of while they were doing the initial development. I don't know. I just feel like retinues were a better solution to this issue than men-at-arms. But, I mean, it works fine, all things considered. I just think it could be better. Anyway, that's enough about that, I think. Let's finish up this war, shall we? This battle should get us quite a large amount of war score. Like, an exceedingly large amount of war score, I think. Maybe even 50. Oh, hello. I mean, I accept, but I hope you don't anticipate me getting up there anytime soon. I don't think we need to get up there anyway. Okay, so we're currently losing ticking war score right now because attacker controls war target, and this is the war target. So we'll take this back, and once we take this back, that'll get us a huge chunk of war score. That'll get us like 47 war score, something along those lines by the time we get there. That'll be absolutely enormous. And then we'll make our way up this way and maybe help this guy out. I don't think he needs help, though. Yeah, he's got this. That's under control. I do wish that we had a breach right now. That'd be nice. But unfortunately, no breach here. Rampant disease outbreak, that's not helpful. Okay. I mean, we don't really care about the outcome of any of these. We're just here for prestige farm. And the prestige farm is working. There's no doubt about that. We'll make our way up. And yeah, look at that. That was a huge chunk of war score there. Absolutely enormous. We'll fight these guys, and then I suspect that this war will be over before we can get there, in all honesty. We'll continue chasing these guys, see if we can catch them. With skill 23 on our commander, that's fine. We did indeed catch them. That is fantastic. These guys are going to make their way in for some reason that I can't fathom. Okay, look at that big chunk of prestige there. Technically, that's giving us fame. Hang on, did they change this? Because we definitely got prestige for that, but it said we were getting fame for that. 136 fame, but we're definitely getting prestige. Is it because we're maxed on fame, actually? You know, that might be. When our fame is maxed, the fame that we get in there might go in as prestige. If that's the case, that is definitely something that I will play around in the future. Interesting. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here, because we were definitely getting fame. Okay, our marshal has finished up. We could have him train commanders. And actually, that might not be the worst idea right now. Our control is pretty good. So we can have this guy train commanders, and that will, of course, reduce our men-at-arms maintenance, which is going to be a handy thing for us right now, considering that we're spending a fair amount of prestige right now. Yeah, now we're gaining prestige. Perfect. Well, let's just wrap this all up then. Get these wars done. And we've got a good chunk of prestige from that. We'll get more from the peace deals as well. This is not a good situation for you. These 130 troops, they're not going to fare too well. We are definitely going to come down here and deal with this. Really? You're not going to siege the war goal? Okay. They are going to siege the war goal. That's good. They definitely should. We're going to make our way down. We're at 100% though. So we shouldn't... A jihad for Labdid. What happens if this wins? This is against the Byzantines? Okay, so these guys are Ashari. This is against the Byzantines. Now we can pledge to join this. You choose a beneficiary that may gain a title in the kingdom. You may gain a share of the war chest. You gain some gold from the war chest when the crusade starts as a jihad, but same thing. Wars against other participants will end when the crusade begins. Again, it's a jihad. You know? Let's do it. Okay, so we need to appoint a beneficiary. And it will be our daughter. Sure. We'll see what actually comes of that, if anything. It will, however, be a little while before the Byzantine War actually... No, this is actually going now, isn't it? Yeah, it actually is. There was no period of preparation there, like with the Crusades. Interesting. We haven't really dealt with this side of things up until this point, right? But we're not going to participate in that until this up here wraps up, for sure. We're going to need to come on home. And so we shall. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode... Hey, we got some piety. Next episode, we are going to participate in this crusade. You can... Technically, it's a jihad. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.